Have you ever been so afraid of losing someone that you accidentally became the reason you lost them? Because that's exactly what happened to me. For 3 years, I had the perfect boyfriend. Or at least, that's what everyone thought. He was loyal, kind, patient. The kind of man most women dream about. But one stupid decision, one test, one lie, destroyed everything. And the worst part? He never cheated on me. I was the one who betrayed him. I met Ethan when I was 24. We worked in the same office building. Different companies. Same coffee shop. Every morning around 8:15. I'd see him standing in line holding the exact same black coffee. At first, we exchanged smiles. Then small conversations. Then longer conversations. And before I realized it, he became the best part of my day. Ethan wasn't flashy. He wasn't rich. He wasn't the loudest guy in the room. But he made me feel safe. And after years of disappointing relationships, that feeling meant everything. 6 months later, we started dating. And honestly, those first years felt perfect. We traveled, watched movies, cooked dinner together, talked about marriage, talked about children, talked about our future. For the first time in my life, I felt certain about someone. Or at least, I thought I did. The problem wasn't Ethan. The problem was me. Because before him, I had been cheated on. Twice. The first boyfriend cheated with a coworker. The second cheated with my best friend. Those experiences leave scars. Even when you think you've healed, part of you never fully trusts again. And over time, small doubts started appearing. Not because Ethan gave me reasons, but because fear creates reasons where none exist. If he replied late, I worried. If he seemed distracted, I worried. If he mentioned another woman's name, I worried. And every time, he reassured me. Patiently. Kindly. Without getting angry. But anxiety doesn't listen to reassurance. It only wants certainty. And certainty doesn't exist in relationships. One night, I was out with friends. And the conversation somehow turned to cheating. One friend said something that stayed in my head. She said, "If a man is truly loyal, he won't fail a loyalty test." Everyone laughed. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. A loyalty test. Simple. Easy. One harmless experiment. Or at least that's how I justified it. My friends encouraged me. Just create a fake account. See what happens. If he's loyal, you'll feel better. And honestly, that sounded reasonable at the time. I wish it hadn't. The next day, I created a fake Instagram account. Fake photos. Fake name. Fake profile. Everything. Even writing that now makes me feel embarrassed. Because deep down, I already knew it was wrong. But I ignored that feeling. I followed Ethan. A few hours later, he followed back. My heart immediately started racing. Then I sent a message. Simple. Friendly. Nothing inappropriate. And he replied. That should have been the moment I stopped. Instead, I kept going. Day after day. Message after message. Creating conversations. Creating situations. Creating temptations. Looking for proof that he wasn't who I thought he was. And after 2 weeks, Something happened. Something that completely shocked me. He never flirted. Not once. Never crossed a line. Never asked for photos. Never asked to meet. Every conversation stayed respectful. Normal. Polite. Boring. Exactly how a loyal boyfriend should behave. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I became obsessed. Because now I wanted to know where his limits were. So I pushed harder. And that's where everything started falling apart. One night, using the fake account, I sent him a direct message. It said, "I think you're attractive." I remember staring at the screen. Waiting. My stomach in knots. 5 minutes later, he replied. And his response destroyed me. He wrote, "Thank you. But I have a girlfriend. I love her and I respect our relationship." That should have ended everything. Immediately. Right there. Game over. Proof achieved. But instead of feeling happy, I felt ashamed. Because suddenly, I wasn't testing him anymore. I was manipulating him. Lying to him. Tricking someone who had done nothing wrong. And for the first time, I saw myself clearly. The problem wasn't his loyalty. The problem was my fear. I planned to delete the fake account. Pretend it never happened. Move on. But life had other plans. A week later, Ethan showed up at my apartment. Holding his phone. Looking confused. Then he asked a question I'll never forget. "Why does this fake account have the same photos you edited on your laptop?" My heart stopped. Apparently, I had made a mistake. One tiny mistake. An image metadata detail connected the account back to me. He had figured it out. Everything. The fake account. The messages. The loyalty test. All of it. And in that moment, I saw something I'd never seen before. Disappointment. Not anger. Not sadness. Disappointment. And somehow, that hurt more. I cried. Apologized. Explained my insecurities. Explained my past. Explained my fears. But the damage had already been done. Eventually he looked at me and said, "I spent 3 years proving I loved you." Then he added, "And somehow, it still wasn't enough." I had no response. Because he was right. He hadn't failed the test. I had. A few weeks later, our relationship ended. Not because he cheated. Not because he lied. Not because he betrayed me. Because I couldn't trust someone who had given me every reason to trust him. And eventually, that destroyed us. It's been years since that happened. And sometimes, I still think about Ethan. Not because I believe we belong together, but because he taught me something important. Trust isn't something you prove endlessly. At some point, it becomes a choice. And if fear controls every decision, even the healthiest relationship can become toxic. I tested my boyfriend's loyalty. And he passed perfectly. But in the process, I failed him completely. Sometimes the person who breaks your heart isn't the one who betrays you. Sometimes, it's the person staring back at you in the mirror.